Welcome to K-Bros Automotive, everybody. Today we're working through an engine code P2096, P2096. This is an engine code that means the downstream O2 sensor, the one after the catalytic converter, thinks things are running too lean. And today we're going to walk through how to diagnose this. We're going to look at some values from a engine scanner that you can look at to narrow down what your issue may be to just a few things. This may be the very best diagnostic tool out there that I've ever seen. It was made by us. We use multiple resources to put this together. But the main disclosure is some of the values on here are specific to Subaru. However, they can be adapted to all car models. There's a user guide linked in the description with the actual flowchart itself. Both of those are linked in the description that explain how to use this properly, especially if you're not doing it on a Subaru, because this is more specific for Subarus. Another disclaimer is engine codes can be caused by multiple things. They can be what people like to call multifactorial. You can have multiple issues that cause an engine code, and that's really important to keep in mind. Very important to keep in mind. One thing I want to say before we get into this is if you are watching this video before we are at 1,000 subscribers, we are not getting paid for ads on YouTube, which means if you watch an ad to watch this video, we are not getting paid for that ad. If this video helps you out, we would very much appreciate it if you help us out by subscribing to our channel so we get paid for those ads. Thank you. Now, if you want to see a video where we work through this actual flowchart on a Subaru Outback, just as an example of how to use the flowchart, it is linked in the description as well. It'll also be a card at the end of the video if you want to go straight to that one once you're done watching this one. So let's get into this. The way this flowchart works is we need an engine code scanner that can read some of these lab values. The first one is total fuel trim values. So this means the STFT plus the LTFT, adding those two percentages together and getting a 1% basically. Now, in most healthy engines, this will fall between -5 and +5%, normally pretty close to 0%, and that's totally healthy. That's perfectly good. However, if it gets plus or minus 10% or greater than that, that's normally when we have issues. However, we can still have issues if it's normal. So let's break this down. So if we have a positive total fuel trim value, this means the STFT plus the LTFT was greater than 10%. We can rev the engine in park or in neutral to 2,500 RPMs. And then we can look at what happens. Does the fuel trim worsen? Does it become even more positive? Does it stay positive in that same range? Or does it actually correct itself and go down closer to 0? If it worsens, we'll probably have some sort of fuel issue. It can be broken down to low fuel pressure or normal fuel pressure, and that can kind of narrow it down for you. I would just look at all these things. Is there a bad fuel pump? Is there a bad fuel pressure regulator? Is there a bad pickup, a bad fuel pickup, some sort of restriction in picking up fuel? Or is there some sort of injector restriction? Those are things to look at there. Now, if it stays positive after you rev it, we can go 2 categories further down here by looking at the front sensor. Now, these values vary depending on, first of all, your scanner and your actual, which car you drive. If you don't have a Subaru, these values may not be applicable. Do an extra Google search to just see what is front AF sensor lean on your car, or what is front AF sensor normal values for your car. And from there, you can look at these issues. Some of this might overlap with the worsens category. However, a dirty MAF can cause a P2096. Generally, in this scenario, it'd be underreporting. There can also be some sort of MAF circuit or scaling fault. This means like there's something wrong with the plug or some sort of electrical issue within the circuit. Typically, replacing the MAF sensor would fix that, or if it's just dirty, just cleaning it off might fix it. There could be a bad fuel pressure regulator causing low fuel pressure, as discussed with the worsens category. There could be some sort of global uniform fuel delivery failure. This means it's not just one injector clogged. It's like the fuel pump or the fuel pickup is clogged, and it's causing just all the cylinders to receive less fuel than they should be. Again, there's a little overlap there with the worsens category. And there could be other false air measurements beyond just the MAF sensor. These are way less common than the MAF, but something to think about. Also listed here, if your front AF sensor value is normal, there could be a timing error. The big thing here is you're going to see a ton of other issues if your timing chain is off a tooth or two than just a P2096. Now, if you rev it to 2,500 RPMs and it corrects, you're typically looking at some sort of air getting into the system somewhere. The main things here are vacuum leaks and that whole list of issues with just air pipes being cracked. Something to look at there. Now, total fuel trim values. If it's normal, if it falls within -5% and +5%, we're going to want to look at the rear O2 voltage. This is the O2 sensor, bank 1, sensor 2. Sensor 1 is upstream, sensor 2 is the rear downstream one. We're going to look at that voltage. If it's lean, it'll be less than 0.3 volts. If it's normal, it'll be between 0.6 and 0.8 volts. Again, these specific values vary depending on your specific car. Do an extra Google search to see what values are specific to your car. Now, if the rear O2 sensor is running lean, we could look at the fuel trims again and narrow it down a little bit. I would just look at this whole category. Unfortunately, this is a big category and there's a lot of problems here. However, if the front trims are slightly positive, you should look at exhaust leak before the front sensor, small vacuum leak, some sort of minor fuel delivery problem, front sensor underreporting fuel, or a dirty MAF. Again, there's a lot of overlap with other categories here, but that's just the way working on cars is. Front trims are normal. Now, you could have an exhaust leak between the sensors after the front sensor, but before the rear sensor. Typically, total fuel trim values stay normal when you rev it, in this case, but the AF3 correction 3 value will actually increase when you res it, just a little bit. That's just an extra little diagnostic tip if you care to try that. Again, it's not like it'll narrow it down completely. Like, that's not going to confirm the diagnosis there, but it's just an extra little thing you can look at if you care to. There could also be an exhaust leak at the downstream sensor threads. There could be all sorts of issues with the rear O2 sensor, in which case the solution is just to replace the sensor. If it has a heater failure, if the sensor is just really old, if there's some sort of corrosion causing wiring resistance, or if there's a ground issue, you may want to replace or check your ground wires. That's an important thing people sometimes overlook as well. There could be catalyst efficiency degradation. That just means your cat just isn't working very well, but it hasn't thrown the cat efficiency code yet, the P0420 code yet. It could also be that the ECM just hasn't relearned the value yet. And we're going to see that again later in this normal total fuel trim category. If the front trims are slightly negative, aftermarket upstream sensor calibration trap is something I want to talk to you guys about. That can be seen here. I'm going to read off this box to you. Aftermarket upstream sensor calibration trap. Most commonly, if the front STFT is between 0 and -5%, -15%, if it's negative, and the rear sensor voltage reads low, it reads lean, it reads like less than 0.3, less than 0.2 volts, somewhere in there, then the new upstream sensor, so if you replace the upstream sensor, may be a bad part, and you may need to replace it with like a OEM part or the correct Denso sensor. Denso's a pretty reliable aftermarket brand for these sensors. That is something to think about. There are less common causes for this that are worth looking into too. However, if this just like rings your bell, like you just replaced that sensor and now you got this issue, that's something to think about. And there's other issues listed there as well. Now, if the rear O2 voltage reads normal, this is fortunately most cases, and typically the less severe cases. So what might be going on here is the ECM had not learned the new value yet after some sort of repair, like replacing a sensor, or after the battery is disconnected and reconnected, like you reset the ECU or something like that. So if it hasn't relearned that, it may throw this code, and in which case, it might clear itself eventually, or if you look and it's just a stored code that the computer's still checking to see that's there, it's not like a permanent code that's still an issue, you could just clear that code and it'll probably never come back. Other things that can be in this category that are fairly common is some sort of exhaust leak that gets worse sometimes, and sometimes it's not so bad. Some sort of sensor fault that sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's not there, or even more rarely some sort of fuel issue that's sometimes a problem, sometimes not a problem. Now, if total fuel trim values are negative 10% or more negative, it falls into 3 more categories. Again, we're going to rev it to the 2.5 RPMs, 2,500 RPMs, and we're going to sort it from there. If it worsens, we should look at the front AF sensor. Again, look at these specific values for your car. They can be different, so do an extra Google search. And from there, you can narrow it down to just a couple things, which is really convenient. If it stays the same, you can look at the rear O2 voltage again, like we did with the normal. And if it reads low, there's probably just a few things that it really could be. If it reads normal, there's probably just a few things it really could be. Again, there's overlap here with other categories, and there can be some contribution of other smaller issues. Keep that all in mind. Now, if you rev it to 2,500 RPMs and it corrects, it becomes more positive, it goes closer back to zero, there's a few things it could be. One of the more common ones is the fuel injectors are leaking, the EVAP purge valve is stuck open. Again, the math could be dirty, but in this case it's over-reporting because it's dirty versus under-reporting, which is less common than under-reporting. Or there could be some sort of exhaust leak at the upstream sensor threads. Important to keep in mind that this often causes more normal total fuel trims, and it can also cause misfires and other issues. It can also be the aftermarket upstream sensor calibration trap again. It could be a bad part at that upstream sensor. Those are all important things to keep in mind. So just again, I want to mention to you guys that when you arrive at your final conclusion box, it is not 100% certain that your diagnosis is in that box. It could be in other boxes. If you reach that final box and they just don't really make sense to you, like those don't seem like the issues they would be, what I would recommend is you, first of all, check those things anyways, and then proceed to the nearby boxes or the related categories that make sense to you. That is all we got for this video. If you have questions about this, feel free to put them in the comments. And again, if you want to watch that video where we work through it on a Subaru Outback, that might be helpful to you. That video is linked in the description, and so is the flowchart and user guide. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you later.